It's Taxi Vlogged 255. It is the 13th, I believe, of... Okay. Oh, that's a good place to park. Almost hit you. Whoa, see that? Yeah, what was I saying? 255, 13th of May, Monday. Last Monday I came out, it was quiet, it was slow. I still managed to do alright. That's it. Use a stop sign even though there's none there. Tuesday and Wednesday were also, they were a little better. I did a little better, I did okay. Tuesday and Wednesday, it's nothing. It was just a little busier than Monday. It's okay. Now Thursday, I had such luck. I was getting these $20 and $30 and $40 fares everywhere I went. The only thing that made it a good night rather than a terrific night was that two of those fantastic fares didn't pay. So early on in the night I got these guys, these Indians. Now I'm not talking about native North Americans, I'm not talking about First Nations people, I'm talking about Indians from India. And as soon as they got in the car they were speaking Punjabi to me. As if I know Punjabi. I might know 3 words, and all of them are bad words, so I don't use them. I don't know them. And so they're asking me who owns the taxi, and I told them the guy's name. He says, "What, you're a white guy driving a white guy's car?" Yeah. You're not supposed to be driving, you're supposed to be driving an Indian car. And it's supposed to be Indian who owns the car. I said, well, I guess you should be driving me then. I mean, fuck. So we were joking around and talking about one thing or another, and he says, you should have an Indian woman, they don't make as many demands as white women. Not that I mentioned any white women that I know made any excessive demands, but, you know, these guys had had a few drinks, and they had been in the Peeler bar. And so we were joking around, and we were going where we had to go. Ended up being about 22 on a meter. They gave me $30. They were entertained. It was a great ride. Great. Now, at about 4 in the morning, I got a call to a house, and it was rapidly certain that one of the guys who was at the house had been in my car earlier that night. He was one of those 4 Indian guys who was in the car. He gave me a destination to go to, and I said, okay. He fell asleep on the way. So I woke him up when we were almost there, and he guides me to this house, palatial. Must have been at least a $2 million house. So I pulled up in front of the $2 million house. Maybe it was more, I don't know. It was big and grand, and I don't know the price of real estate. I'm not in the market. I can't come up with a down payment for no real estate. And he pulls out his card to use the Interac machine. And for some reason it tells him his personal identification number is wrong. We tried it 4 times, and of course the 4th time it blocked the PIN. It won't let him use his personal identification number anymore, because that's that. It only gives you 4 tries, and then it blocks your card. So I said, well, don't you have like a $20 bill or something in a house, you know, like you can pay me with? No, this is all I got, this card. It doesn't work. I'll pay you tomorrow. What's your address? So I gave him a card for our company, and I kissed the $20 goodbye at that point. I said, you know, he said, what, you don't trust me? I said, yeah, I don't trust anybody. Come on, don't you see where I live? Naturally, I never got a call back and I never got the money. So if I get ever sent to that $2 million plus house, I won't go there. That was $22 or something, I don't know what. Had another fare later on. There was a guy and a girl, they were drunk. They were going from my part of town down to James Bay. $15 fare. Same thing, the PIN didn't work. The guy goes, I don't know what's with your machine. I said, well, if you put the right number in it, it'll work. So of course he tried 4 times and his PIN was blocked too, and then we went to a bank machine. If the PIN was blocked on our mobile machine, it was blocked on the bank machine too. So I didn't get paid for that one either. So I think it was something like $35 of my night I didn't get. So like I said, I still had a good night, but the difference between a good night and a great night is 2 pricks like that. What is it? Either the people don't have the money or they're just assholes. I think in some cases it's a little bit of both. The Indian guy was an asshole. The other people were assholes and they didn't have the money. Probably. What the fuck ever. I came out on Friday tired. I was tired of the whole business on Friday. I think this whole week I've been kind of tired. And why is there traffic? Oh, do I get a turn? Yeah. Well, so anyway, I came out Friday night and I was saying to the owner of the cab, I was predicting 300, 320 or 330 or so for the night. He says, oh, you mean in your pocket? I said, no, I mean gross. I mean the fares, the tips, and everything, and the lease. About 320. Sure enough, the first 3.5 hours I had 2 fares in the first 3.5 hours. Now I don't care how good your night is after that. 3.5 of your 12 hours are gone. You've got 8.5 hours in which to make your night. Had the night been as it was after that, I would have easily done over 400. Easily. As it was, my income was in the low 300s. So I paid my lease for the week, fueled up the car, and I went home thankful that that week was over. You know, those 2 people who ripped me off on Thursday kind of took the wind out of my sails and made me not feel like working much on Friday. Although I did come out, but then there was nothing going on. I did get a fair bit of reading done. I'm reading this one here, Steal Across the Sky by Nancy Kress. Excellent. I enjoy Nancy Kress's books. This one is about some... Did I tell you that one last week? Some alien race that feels that it has wronged the human race by taking something away from us, and it's trying to make it up to us. So it recruited a bunch of witnesses to go to these other planets where people had been taken from Earth and transplanted there, and some of them had been genetically altered very slightly. You see, 10,000 years ago, before these aliens took people away from the Earth, they genetically modified us and took away our ability to see ghosts. And so they showed planets where people had still had the ability, and others where people did not have the ability to see the recently departed before they go into the light, so to speak. The people who had been witnesses, who had been taken to these other planets to witness what other people were like, are having trouble readapting to being back home. The media is chasing them. It's just a mess. And I've got about 100 pages to go, so I'm at the point where some of the witnesses are trying to get things straightened out with these aliens. And the aliens won't show themselves. They got a base on the moon or something, and that's that. They won't show themselves to people. So, the weather's kind of volatile today. It's got some thick clouds over there. Looks like it might rain a little bit. The sun is behind a cloud at the moment. There's some blue sky, but there's some big, heavy clouds coming in, and I think it's going to rain overnight. Anyway, I'm digressing, am I not? I told you about my week. Hope yours is better than mine. Hope yours is better than mine was on last Thursday, even though I made good money. It's the bad ones that really set the tone and piss you off. You can have 3 good ones for 1 bad one.